Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into another incredible story from the Arabian Nights, the tale of Amine. It's a story of love, mystery, and a whole lot of drama. So grab your popcorn, get comfortable, and let's get started. Our story begins with a woman named Amine. She was young, beautiful, and after her husband passed away soon after their marriage, she found herself incredibly wealthy. She decided she was quite happy being independent, managing her own affairs and enjoying her freedom. But, as with all good stories, things were about to take a very unexpected turn. One day, an elderly woman Amine recognized from the public baths came to her house. The old woman seemed very distressed. She explained that her daughter was getting married that very day, but her family were strangers in the grand city of Baghdad. She pleaded with Amine, saying, "Dear lady, please grace the wedding with your presence. When the high society ladies of this city see someone of your standing with us, they won't look down on us." Amine, having a kind heart, agreed. The old woman led her to a beautiful house. There, she was greeted by a young woman she assumed was the bride. But after a few pleasantries, the young lady revealed a surprising truth. "You were invited here for a wedding, madam," she said with a smile, "but I hope you'll be the star of one yourself. My brother, who is handsome, rich, and honorable, has heard tales of your beauty and is completely captivated. He'll be miserable if you don't take pity on him." Before Amine could even process this, the young lady clapped her hands, and a young man entered the room. He was everything his sister had described: graceful, charming, and undeniably handsome. Amine found herself caught up in the moment. Surrounded by their earnest pleas and charmed by the young man, she agreed. The guest had become the bride. Her new husband, however, had one strict condition. He made her promise that she would never speak to or even be seen by any other man but him. Amine, deeply in love, readily agreed. Life was blissful for a while. But then, she needed to buy some new fabrics. After getting her husband's permission, she went out shopping, accompanied by the same old woman who had first introduced them. The old woman took her to a specific merchant's shop. As they browsed the beautiful silks and brocades, Amine, keeping her veil drawn tight, found exactly what she was looking for. She asked the old woman to inquire about the price. The merchant, however, had a strange proposition. He told the old woman he wouldn't take any money. Instead, he wanted a single kiss on Amine's cheek in exchange for the expensive fabrics. Amine was shocked and told the old woman to scold the man for his audacity. But to her surprise, the old woman started defending the merchant, urging her to just do it. Amine really wanted the fabrics, and the merchant was adamant. So, foolishly, she gave in. The old woman and the other servants formed a screen around her so no one could see. Amine lifted her veil, expecting a quick peck on the cheek. But instead of a kiss, the merchant bit her, hard, drawing blood. The pain and shock were so overwhelming that she fainted on the spot. When she came to, the merchant was gone, and her servants were frantically trying to help her. They managed to get her home, but the damage was done. A deep, ugly wound marred her cheek. That evening, her husband came home. The moment he saw her injured face, his expression darkened. "What happened?" he demanded. Amine panicked. She couldn't bring herself to tell him the humiliating truth. So, she lied. "A porter," she stammered. "He was carrying a heavy load and one of the sticks he was carrying cut my cheek." Her husband flew into a rage. "Tomorrow," he seethed, "I will command the police to round up every last one of those brutish porters and have them all hanged." Terrified by his extreme reaction, Amine immediately backtracked. "No, no, they're innocent," she cried. Her husband's eyes narrowed. "Then how did you get that wound?" he asked, his voice cold and hard. Scrambling for another excuse, she said, It was a broom-seller. He rode his cart too close and knocked me down. Her husband's fury only grew. Indeed? Then tomorrow the Grand Vizier will hear of this insolence. And we will see every broom-seller in the city put to death. Again, she had to confess her lie. They aren't guilty either, she pleaded. Her husband's patience was gone. What is all this? I demand you tell me the truth, right now. Cornered and scared, Amine blurted out the first thing she could think of. I felt dizzy and I fell. That's all that happened. That was the final straw. I have listened to your lies for long enough, he roared. He clapped his hands, and 3 menacing slaves entered the room. He pointed at Amine and gave a chilling order: put her to death. The slaves, however, seemed reluctant to carry out such a cruel command on the spot. This gave Amine a moment to beg for her life, with the old nurse joining in, pleading for mercy. Finally, her husband relented, but only slightly. He looked at the nurse and said, "For your sake, I will spare her life. But she will not escape unpunished." He then ordered 2 slaves to hold Amine down, while the third took a small cane and beat her mercilessly on her sides and chest, tearing her skin. The pain was unbearable, and she fainted once more. When she woke up, she was no longer in her luxurious home. She was in a poor, squalid little house, attended by a strange slave she'd never seen before. The slave cared for her until she recovered from her brutal injuries and then simply left. Once Amine was strong enough to walk, she made her way back to her own house, only to find a pile of rubble. In his rage, her husband had ordered it to be completely demolished. With nowhere else to go, Amine sought refuge with her sister, Zobeide. Zobeide welcomed her with open arms, and Amine had been living with her ever since, trying to piece her life back together. After Amine finished her heart-wrenching story, the Caliph, who had been listening intently, turned to Zobeide. He asked if she had any way to contact the fairy who had originally cursed her other sisters, the ones who had been turned into 2 black dogs. Zobeide nodded. "I do, sir. The fairy left me a locket containing some of her hair. She told me that if I ever needed her, I should burn the hair, and she would appear, no matter how far away she was." The Caliph immediately requested she do it. Zobeide burned the hair, and almost instantly, the entire palace began to shake. A moment later, the fairy appeared before them in the form of a beautifully dressed lady. The Caliph addressed her directly. "Powerful fairy," he said, "I have summoned you because I need your help. First, please release these 2 poor dogs from their enchantment. And second, I must know who the man is who treated this lady, Amine, with such appalling cruelty. I can't believe such a barbaric act could happen in my city without my knowledge." The fairy smiled and agreed. She took a glass of water, whispered some magical words over it, and sprinkled some on the 2 dogs, and the rest on Amine. In a flash, the dogs transformed back into 2 beautiful women, Zobeide's sisters. And miraculously, the deep scars on Amine's chest and sides completely vanished. Then, the fairy turned to the Caliph and revealed the final, shocking secret. "Commander of the Faithful," she said, "the unknown husband of this lady is none other than Prince Amine, your own eldest son." While his actions were extreme, Amine was not entirely truthful, and her lies made him suspect something far worse. He is not entirely without excuse. But now, he has overheard this entire story, and he finally knows the whole truth. I have no doubt he will welcome her back into his heart. With those words, the fairy bowed to the Caliph and vanished. Just then, Prince Amine himself stepped forward. He had been listening, and his face was full of remorse and love. He joyfully took Amine's hand from his father, the Caliph. And so, our story comes to a happy end. The Caliph, moved by Zobeide's wisdom and kindness, asked her to become his wife and share the throne of Persia. He then married her 3 sisters to the 3 calendars, the wandering princes from our earlier tale, giving them high positions in his court. Everyone found their happily ever after, their trials finally over. What a whirlwind of a story! It just goes to show you that honesty, even when it's difficult, is always the best policy. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure through the Arabian Nights. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next tale. We love bringing these stories to life for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.